Hey everybody, Kevin Crouch here with KTX Transport. I want to let you know there is a warehouse here in Waxahachie, located just south of Dallas, with 45,000 plus square feet of space that can help you grow your business. During the pandemic, the supply chain issues that came up, the pressure to minimize your space, send employees home, it really put a lot of pressure on companies that made it hard for you to get your products where they need to go. KTX Transport has kept things moving. Whether it's internationally, over the water, or in the air, or domestically, over rail, in the air, truckloads, expedited services, you name it, Ship KTX can keep logistics moving for your company. Go to shipktx.com to learn more.
I know the patience of many is running thin as we approach the beginning of astronomical fall. Of course, meteorological fall started on September 1st, but here it is, September 19th. Astronomical fall starts on the 22nd, and we're going to enter fall with a frustrating reminiscence of summer of this year. Nothing on radar, nothing out there to speak of, nothing in the sky right now. It is clear out there. Current temperatures right now, we're in the low to mid 80s, 83 in Waxahachie and Cleburne, 84 there in Corsicana and Hillsboro. Highs today, we're going to be toasty, mid 90s, 95 in Waxahachie, Cleburne, and Corsicana. Hillsboro there in 96. Let's talk a little bit about kind of records and norms, kind of where things stand. So the average high temperature today, 86 degrees. Average low is around 70. Record high today, 99 degrees in 2016. Record lows of 54 degrees in 2012. A couple of things I want to show you here is that we're still, the average high is still in the mid to upper 80s, right? We're still looking at kind of warmer conditions. We're not really supposed to be cold yet, but it shouldn't be quite as hot as it is. And then the average low, we're actually kind of close to that. So we look at today's high of 95 degrees. We won't quite hit that record, but we're still above average. And the low of 73 degrees is actually kind of on par with where we should be this time of year. So really, we're going to continue with kind of mild nights, but very warm days across this area. Not much happening in the region today, and of course that's because of what I'll show you in a moment. A few showers there on the coast. Again, kind of summer-like sea breeze, showers and thunderstorms there, just enough to disrupt your trip to the beach down there. But look at this high-pressure system. This is what is causing our woes right now. This, what I will again don a steel dome high-pressure system. Like I say, fortunately, even though the persistence in the regimen the regime rather is much closer to what we saw in the summer, the temperatures won't quite be up there. We're not going to be hitting 104, 106, 110 degrees across the area. We'll be in the mid 90s, mid to upper 90s part of the week, but this is going to continue to move westward. So this is going to pretty much dominate our week here, even going into the weekend. But there is some hope that we could see some change here in the next couple of weeks. So let's take a look at the weekday outlook here. Here's that forecast. I've put these records up here to kind of give a perspective of where things stand. 95 degrees, of course, today. That record again of 99 degrees. We won't quite hit that. Tomorrow, 96 degrees with a record high of 101. Praise the Lord, we won't be quite there. We start closing the gap, though, as we get later in the week. 96 degrees is the record high on Wednesday. We'll be right in that neighborhood Wednesday afternoon. 95 for the record on Thursday, but a high of 98. So it looks like Thursday we have a pretty good shot at breaking that record. Record high of 97 on Friday, and that's kind of where we're going to be as far as temperatures go. So a few days this week looks like we could get close to or even break a few records, but we won't be bounding right past them the way we would be if we still had the heat from July and August in this area. Let's look ahead, and you see the crystal ball here, and that's kind of how this feels, right? Looking into a crystal ball. I've been watching the models, the American, the GFS model, and the European model to kind of get their thinking on what's going to happen to this ridge of high pressure. It sticks around this week, but there are signs of a couple of cold fronts coming in. Next week, we have a weak cold front coming in early in the week. It doesn't look like it's going to do much. I think it might bring us down into maybe the mid to upper 80s, possibly low 90s. So it'll kind of take the edge off, I think, and maybe get us closer to normal for this time of year. The week after that, though, 2 weeks from now, the beginning of October, looks like we have a stronger front coming in. And that could be what brings overnight lows into the 50s, possibly, if it sticks around where it looks to be right now. Obviously, time will tell. This is looking further out from what is considered a reliable forecast. And I say it all the time, these models have to be taken with a grain of salt. That's just the way it is. And like I said, it's like looking into a crystal ball or picking your lottery numbers. There's really no way to know for sure. But the thing is that I've been watching these models, and they've been pretty insistent and consistent that this is going to happen. And when it came to that big rain we had in the end of August, hey, the models were very, very persistent about that as well. So they've been doing a decent job this part of the year of kind of finding some of these anomalies in the pattern, right? These changes coming in, and have stuck to their guns a little bit. So we'll have to watch and see if this is going to continue, and changes are likely. We see these forecasts fluctuate all the time. This week, when we were looking at this week, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, I'm sure that we saw multiple changes happen. The cold front next week, I'm still kind of skeptical about it, although the GFS model has kind of become a little more aggressive on that weak front, giving it a little more power and promise. The European model has been pretty persistent with that weak front, that we will get some change from it. So the good news is it's looking like that front has a little more hope for our area, but both models have been pretty persistent about the stronger front expected in the beginning of October. So, like I say, time will tell if those are going to continue. Make sure you go to lscountyweather.com and follow there for all the latest forecast information. Follow the social pages as well. I'm going to continue to watch this. The weekend looks like we're still in the mid-90s over the weekend. It's going to be really humid today. I didn't mention that. The humidity is going to be high today. Heat index values will probably be in the upper 90s today. But hopefully these two fronts, if nothing else, can help kind of bring in some drier air to get rid of some of that humidity. But I will continue to watch this, so make sure you're following Ellis County Weather for the latest updates. It'll only be a couple of days before this period starts to come into that 7-day forecast realm, and then, about another week or so before we start getting more reliable information about a stronger cold front to bring October into play.